boys and girls, thought I would try and make a quick video on something that I think is super fun, is some printmaking. Some of you may remember this from last year. We made some passport stamps using the same kind of printmaking. And I thought I would show you how some other ways that we could use it and give you a little quick reminder. I have a printing plate that I made out of a styrofoam tray that I think I had some tomatoes from the grocery store that came on that. You sometimes find it with the meats like chicken and beef and things like that. Don't use those ones just because of the bacteria and stuff that can get on the meat. Try and use one that maybe you had some fruits or vegetables that came from. And all I did was cut off the sides, all these little edges that stick up. I gave them a little trim off and put those off to the side. You don't need them anymore. You want just a nice flat piece. You could even cut this into smaller pieces or into shapes depending on what you are going to make. From there, you get a pen. Nice ballpoint pen is the best, and you draw whatever picture you want on there. You're just going to push down a little bit. You're going to hear the scraping. If you listen carefully, maybe you can hear it. And what you're trying to do is sort of push those lines a little bit into the styrofoam. If you feel it, it'll feel a little bumpy. Don't push too hard. You don't want holes to come out on the other side. Once you have your picture, you're ready to pick some colors. Any kind of washable water-based marker, Sharpie's not so good for this, but anything that's not a permanent marker should work out just fine. Or you could take some watercolor paints and paint on top of this as well. But the markers are a really easy way to do printmaking. So pick your colors, color it in however you would like. I like to add all sorts of different things. I think I'm going to go for some single colored flower petals today. I've made a few others of these, sort of testing out my printing plate before I did my video for you guys, so I will show you those at the end as well. But for today, I'm going to make this kind of quick for you so you don't have to watch me work and work and work and work and work. Coloring it in, doing your best job. Getting all those little spots. I don't know. I was feeling a nice, bright, beautiful flower. Thinking of you guys. The outside. Springtime's coming. Today's a sunny day. After some rainy days, I'm ready to soak up some sun. Hope you guys have been getting outside, playing around a little bit, maybe in your backyard, but being safe, of course. Making sure you're not being unsafe. We want to make sure that we're staying away from everybody, even though we really want to be around all of our friends, all of our teachers, all of our extra outside of our house family. I know I'm missing my family quite a bit. I haven't gotten to see them in person in a few weeks. So hopefully we will all be back together soon. And of course, that's why we are kind of keeping to ourselves right now so that we can get back together sooner. Let's see. I think for the pot, I'm going to make it a nice dark blue. I'm going to add a little kind of shadow on here for those of you guys that have done some of those observational drawings with me, trying to make things look a little bit more realistic. You know that we've talked about light sides and dark sides of objects, that there's always that side where the sun or the light, wherever it's coming from, hits something first and then kind of bumps into it, and then there's that part of the object where it gets kind of blocked out. So there's those light sides and those dark sides. I think I'm going to make this part the same color on this one as well. I'll show you again at the end some of my other examples where I've chosen some different colors along the way. And let's see, blue. I think a nice purple table, but again, I'm going to give it a little bit of a shadow. Right, a little cast shadow down here, pretending like the light is coming from over here. So my flower pot is kind of blocking that light, making that first part under there a little bit darker. And we'll add the rest of the purple around it here. All right, now for this one, I'm not going to color in my back wall. Again, I told you I did some of these already. I will show you some of those at the end where I did color around the back wall. I also added in some other, let's see, let's add a little bit of a dark side to this and a little dark side there. Awesome. Now, once you have that, you can set it aside for a minute. You're going to take some paper, any kind of paper. This is just some drawing paper I had laying around. I folded the edge and kind of give it a nice pinch. If you don't have any scissors, that's a great way to kind of cut your paper with a pretty straight line. And you're going to take a sponge, dunk it in a little bit of water, give it a squeeze out. You don't want it to be soaking wet, but wet enough that when you put it on your paper, you can tell that your paper is getting a little bit wet. We don't want it puddly, but you want it pretty wet. All right, we're ready for our print now. Put your printing plate on your table. Put your paper wet side down. Try and make it nice and flat and not move it. Give it a good pat with your flat hands, and then give it a gentle but firm rub. Make sure you get all the corners, all the edges, sides all along nice and even. Once you've done that, peel it off, and you're ready to reveal. All right, so that's my first one. It's always fun because it's always a surprise to see what you get from each one. And I can make a couple more without even coloring more on that. Just getting another piece of paper, adding some more of that water, putting my printing plate back down. Again, water side down. Give it a nice pat, 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 rub, rub, rub. And let's see what we come up with for this one. Ooh, nice, very cool. A little bit lighter. We call that a ghost print because it's a little bit lighter. And I think I'm going to give it one more try before I change to any other colors or make any more. Let's see if that last one, what that one will look like. Again, water, not too puddly, just enough to dampen your paper on that printing plate. And once it's on there, you really want to make sure your paper doesn't wiggle. So I usually use one hand to kind of hold my paper and everything else in place, and the other one to rub around. They kind of take turns as we're doing it. And let's peel that off and see what we end up with. Oh, very cool. It almost starts to look like I painted it a little bit. So from there, if you wanted to do another one, you could take a little rag. You don't want to use your same sponge. You want to keep a nice clean sponge for getting your paper wet, but you could take a paper towel or a different sponge, wipe it off. Just like this, give it a nice clean off. Some of those colors may kind of hang around for a little bit. Any of them that got in the nooks and crannies there, but for the most part, all those colors are gone. And now you're ready to color it in again with the same colors or something different. What's really fun about this is that you get so many. As I said the other day, I made some already. I kind of tested it out yesterday. So I used these colors. This one. I now have a whole collection of these really cool prints. And I think that I will probably, well, that one didn't come out so well, but maybe I'll use it and maybe I'll cut out some paper and glue it on to turn it into a collage, or I'll color on top of it, make it a mixed media piece. This one also got a little watery and blurry, but that's okay. That's the fun part about printmaking. You never know what you're going to get. And now that I have so many, I think that I will probably pick some of my favorites and maybe send them out to some of my friends and family who I'm missing so much, and have them get a surprise in the mail. Maybe think about someone that you could send something to. As always, as I've been asking for, and send me pictures of you making art, of your beautiful artwork. I'm sharing them, all your artwork weekly on Class Dojo on our school page, and I put up pictures of your art as soon as I can when I get them on our Instagram account as well. So if you need that information, feel free to shoot me an email. Or anything else. I hope you guys are staying safe and being creative. And I look forward to seeing all of your shiny, happy faces again soon. Bye!